start the show off today. I got an interesting question posed to you and and it's from Carlos Walker 221. And I want you to think about this question before you answer because I've been giving it a lot of thought. And it basically says, and I quote, how much of the season was because of Cam Ward instead of Mario showing progress? I'm waiting to see, show me on the field. So he wants to know how much of the season last year, just passed, was because of Cam Ward and instead of Mario showing progress. What do you think about that? It's an interesting question.
I would, off the top of my head, I would say 50% Cam Ward off the top. Just uh, as a blind person that just was watching football, it was 50% Cam. Because without Cam, you're not 10-2. Without Cam, you probably 6-6, maybe 7-6, or maybe even 5-7.
Right.
Strictly because of him. But you have to understand that a lot of this was Shannon Dawson as the offensive coordinator.
Right.
Mario didn't interfere with him and how he called his game.
Right.
On the flip side, Mario didn't interfere with the defensive coordinator and how he called his game, and he didn't call the best games on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Mario fumbled this year with clock management and timeouts. There's been a couple of questionable timeouts, but he didn't do anything boneheaded like not take a knee.
Right.
I give Mario credit as far as, getting that offensive line together, because I think if Miami would have been forced to run the ball a little bit more because they didn't have a Cam Ward, I think their running game would have been
Top in the nation, I would think.
I would say in the top 10 of the country.
Yeah.
At least top 10. If they would have been forced to be more of a running team, if they didn't have a Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Mario did okay. I would say at least 50% has to go to Cam, strictly off of who he was and what he brought to the program as a leader, as a passer. He was given a lot of leeway.
Yeah.
They took the cuffs off of him. That Van Dyke couldn't audible.
Right.
Cam Ward could audible. He could come up to the line of scrimmage and see things he didn't like and switch up the call and whatnot, like an NFL quarterback. Right. Or like an elite college program quarterback should be able to do.
Right.
So Shannon Dawson and Mario had the faith in him to, okay, you walk up to the line of scrimmage, you seeing what the defense is giving you, and we're going to let you make adjustments and changes. And even when the line did have a breakdown or they blitz, he could improvise, and he did. So
right.
I would say 50% him, and then the other 50% would go to Mario and Shannon Dawson.
Yeah. When I first got the question, I said, and I thought it was the same debate with Brady Belichick. How much was Belichick doing in comparison to, Brady's success? So what I would tell Carlos Walker is that you need athletes to implement your system. Now, the progress is being shown by the record. You could only judge a coach by its record. And every year he's progressively got better. So it's like you say, it's a 50-50. Cam did help 50% of his progression, but you need those athletes as a coach to progress. So
that's right.
And I hope that answers his question.
I hope it does too, because that's a good question. That's a good question because, and like I said last week, I think Mario has progressed season. Now he's going into season 4.
Right.
Now I think this year you're going to see more than just what the team does on the field. You're going to see what he does as a head coach and what his staff does.
Right.
I think they have, each season that comes along, they have learned, especially Mario. I mean, look at the changes he's made. This is his 3rd defensive coordinator now.
Right.
Okay. That shows me that he's not stubborn and that he knows what he needs to do. If he wants to get to that next level, if he wants to get up there to the top echelon with the other teams, then he has to make the adjustments from a coaching standpoint.
Right.
Not just from a player's perspective and personnel on the field, but from his staff, his subordinates,
Yeah.
his assistant coaches, whatever position they may be, they still are his subordinates.
Yeah.
He's the boss. The buck stopped with him. So he knows with every win and loss, it all stops with him. So I think he's right there. He's shown that, okay, I'm willing to make the necessary moves because we've seen the deficiencies we had last season.
Right. Right.
So the biggest thing for Canes fans, and I really impress on this, is you've got to put Cam Ward behind you now as far as trying to bring him into this next season.
Yeah.
He's gone. He's going to be with the Giants or the Titans next year, probably the Titans or somebody else.
Right.
He did what he did in Miami. Be grateful for what he did. He helped change the program. He brought a level of attitude to the program and leadership to the program. Don't expect Carson Beck to be him. Carson Beck is Carson Beck. Correct. And if I get 2023 Carson Beck, if I get last year's Carson Beck without the drops, I'm
right.
happy.
Right.
I'm happy. If I get last year's Carson Beck with some protection and without the drops, I think Miami fans will be pretty happy.
Right.
We can't.
I think so too.
So I think from looking at it from a standpoint of Mario as a coach, he's already shown you, okay, he's made some better game time decisions this past season. He's made some better decisions with new subordinates coming into this season. So let's let it play out and not get hung up on what Cam did. What Cam did was great, but I can't sit up here and keep ingesting and redigesting last year.
Right.
It's over with. It's one and done. You can't cry with spilled milk. It's water under the bridge. It's time to move on to the next. This next 2025. Let's get into this spring ball and see what we got.
All right. Well, we finna